Hey, I'm Tracie, the Better Coach, and welcome to my YouTube channel, where I help women thrive after breakups, date better the next time around, and generally protect their peace in spite of all of life's ups and downs. I'm glad you're here, and let's get into it. This video is for those who have decided to end a relationship or are seriously considering doing so, and want a plan in order to do so. I'll help you reflect on some things you should consider when ending a relationship. By the way, if anything about this video is helpful to you, don't forget to like the video so YouTube knows to show it to other people who may benefit from it. A breakup plan is simply a structured, kind of organized system for ending your relationship. And you can think of it as being split into two parts. There's the pre-breakup conversation and there's the post-breakup conversation. During the pre-conversation phase, you are going to do a lot of thinking, reflecting, organizing of your thoughts, maybe scripting, writing, making the plan for having the breakup conversation with your partner. During the post-conversation phase, you are putting into action the breakup plan that you have in place. You're dealing with the aftermath of the breakup conversation. The first step in the pre-conversation phase is to make the decision. So this is where you've made the decision to end the relationship for whatever reasons. And I have a video on my channel called To Stay or To Leave, where it helps you determine whether you should stay in your relationship or leave your relationship. So assuming you've already made that decision that you are leaving the relationship, the first step in the pre-conversation phase is to identify your reasons for why you're leaving the relationship, organize your thoughts so that you will be able to coherently express them to your partner, and to gather your resources. So you want to first identify what your resources are. Who are the people who are going to help you with this process, whether it's moving in with someone or them helping you financially or leaning on them for some sort of emotional support. But also, what are your financial resources? What are your childcare resources? You name it. A resource is anything or any person or any entity that can help you out. You want to identify what resources are available to you and make a plan for actually utilizing those resources, talking to the people who you need to talk to, gathering the information you need to gather, applying to and submitting forms for various things that you need to apply to. So this is all before having the breakup conversation with your partner. Next, you want to plan for the aftermath of the breakup conversation, meaning what are the things that are going to need to happen after you've informed someone that you want to end the relationship? Is someone going to need to move out? Do you guys need to sell a house? Do you need to separate bank accounts or any loans that are in your name? Do you need to break the lease? It's all the things that may come about due to you guys splitting up and ending your relationship. And so at this phase, you may also need to make phone calls or do some research to find out, your mortgage options or your financial situation, childcare options, things like that. This is the research that you're doing in order to make a plan for how you move after you guys break up so that you can keep as much stability in your life as possible. If you're going to need to move, maybe this is a time when you're starting to declutter things so you have less to move. Doing any of the things that you can do in advance before having to actually leave, that can be helpful to start doing now. It's something for you to determine for yourself, but think about any things you can do now to make the aftermath of the breakup conversation easier. What you also want to be thinking about or asking yourself the questions are, what is going to be our understanding and agreements post-breakup? Meaning, are we on a break? Are we able to see other people? Is this a smooth cutoff? Because these are questions that your partner may have. Maybe they ask, what are we doing after this? What are the guidelines? So these are things that you want to think about and consider and determine what you would like it to be. So when you have this conversation with your partner, you guys are able to discuss it in an effective way. So think about the processes that take time, such as selling a house. So think about what that does to your timing of the breakup conversation and the things that you may need to get in order. You just want to kind of think about, okay, what are the things about my life and our lives that are going to need to shift post-breakup? And start getting things in order for those things, or at least asking yourself certain questions so that you can decide what you want, because then you're going to need to express this to your partner and you guys are going to need to talk about it and possibly negotiate it. If anything about this video has been helpful to you, I strongly encourage you to sign up for my email list. This is where you will get the most up-to-date information about my group coaching programs and get exclusive content that I don't always share on YouTube. So just click the link in this video description in order to sign up on my email list. Next, you want to plan the breakup conversation. So you want to organize your thoughts and jot them down kind of like bullet points of what you want to say in this conversation. The reasons for the breakup, your expectations afterwards, anything that you think is important to tell your partner. You also want to determine the method of delivery of the conversation. Is this going to be in person? Is this going to be over the phone? Do you feel you need to write it down and give it to them as a letter to read first, and then you guys discuss? So you want to think about how you deliver the message. Maybe you choose to record the message. It can be any of these options that you have determined is the best based on your ability to articulate your thoughts, how you expect the person to respond, what maybe is the most convenient form of communicating, but understanding that you do want to offer an outlet to be able to have a actual conversation with the person. You also want to keep in mind the location. Will this be in a public setting? Will this be at home? The environment, who would be around or not be around. You want to make sure the kids are away, or do you need someone else around for safety concerns? These are things that you're going to want to consider based on your circumstances. Then you have the conversation. You maybe set a date or you set up the situation. Maybe you guys, want to have lunch or go for a walk. The idea here is that it's not a conversation that you just spurt out of frustration at some time, or you guys get in an argument and you just throw it out there. It's one of those things where you want to be composed and calm around having the conversation. So maybe set a time frame for yourself as to the latest time at which you would have this conversation. Maybe certain things are coming up in your life or your partner's life. Maybe there's holidays or certain events that are going to be happening. Maybe there's going to be a high stress time for you or that person. And so you're wanting to take these things into consideration and determine if there's a better time or a worse time to have this conversation based on your life circumstances. And so you make a plan of when you would want to have the conversation, and then again, you get in the location that you've decided you want to be in. You deliver it by the means that you've determined you want to deliver it, and you share with your partner your concerns and the important aspects that you need to share with them. After the conversation, you enact the plan. Meaning, did you determine that someone needed to move? Do you guys need to start separating utilities? Do you need to sell things? All of this sort of stuff is what you start moving into. Now, obviously, your ability to do this easily or smoothly is very dependent on your partner and their response. And so it's not to say that these things necessarily go smoothly, but it is to say that it makes sense for you at least to have an ideal plan so that you can put that plan in place as easily as possible, as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So these were a few things to consider when planning to end a relationship. You want to know what it is you want to say to the person. You want to be mindful of where and when you say it. You want to have already thought about the aspects of your life that are going to change by way of the breakup, and you want to try to put in as many things in place as possible to allow those transitions to happen as smoothly as possible. Okay, that's all for today. See you soon. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to click the link to join my email list. See you soon.